when I'm not skillfully incorporating my newest sponsor into the videos. When I get the hankering in my belly for some smooth peanut butter, I turn to Teddy's, all natural, smooth, unsalted peanut butter. Vegan, gluten-free, USA grown, and supporting people with special abilities. Teddy is woke AF. Nobody competes to this sensually posed bear with one ingredient. So next time you have a peanut butter need that can't be satisfied, turn no further to old Teddy. He'll get you where you're going. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. First rate lesson, many gracias. A belated question, would you also use the D minor pentatonic in a typical 1-4-5 major 12-bar blues in D? No? Yeah, so if you aren't an experienced bluesman like myself, basically 12-bar blues in D is just a D chord, a G chord, and an A chord. You can make them dominant 7 chords, so D7, G7, A7. We'll just lay something down real quick, like... So we have that playing, okay? Now, you can play in the key of D. You can play all the D major stuff, but the sound of the blues is going to be D minor over it. So I'm just going to play D minor pentatonic, which again is just 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13. So that's the sound of the minor pentatonic scale over like a major blues progression. So when you say like the blues in D, usually that's always going to mean D7 to G7 and A7 in some order, depending on its 8 bars, 12 bars, however you want to slice it up. But that's basically it. Now the interesting thing about that I always thought was confusing was, oh, blues in D. I'll use the key, the notes in the key of D major. So if you don't learn with a blues background, you get caught up in that. Because when I think of D major, I think of like, okay, I go to that spot, that minor pentatonic spot that is associated with any major key. So in the key of 2020, the key of D, B minor would be what I think of to solo, because that's like the position that guitarists kind of go to. So if I play in B minor pentatonic over that same progression, it sounds like this. Okay, so that kind of sounded happier, maybe a little too happy, not really bluesy. Same thing, I'll play like essentially the same licks, but in the D position again. Switch it up to B. Kind of hear the dichotomy between playing minor pentatonic when you're thinking of like a natural key of D major, which again, B minor, versus playing the minor scale of whatever key you're in, right? So I think it's just kind of like a good idea to learn it both ways because it's the same set of licks, it's the same position, it's just one happens to be in a bluesier spot. Again, blues in D, play D minor pentatonic. Anything in D, right? Rock in D, play B minor pentatonic. And if you have the major chords behind it, it'll sound uplifting and happy. That sounds kind of happy right now. That sounds kind of bluesy right now. So, I think it's really good practice just to kind of take one position, everyone's favorite minor pentatonic position, and then just kind of practice those over different chords and see the effects of it. Because that's what's so great about the pentatonic scale, is it's easy to play and just kind of rip stuff off. But you can actually make it sound different depending on what's going on in the background. It always works. It'll work in different ways and varieties. So do yourself a favor and get bluesy. You certainly find the talented women. Sean, I need to know your secret. So this is in response to the video I posted with Katie, awesome singer. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of her on the channel soon. And for a long time, I have held my secret close to my vest as they say, but I think it's finally time to reveal it to the world. So the secret is, when I get the hankering in my belly for some smooth peanut butter, I turn to Teddy's all natural, smooth, unsalted peanut butter.
I lost this guy after 15 seconds. Any suggestions how I can learn the meaning of these things? Like, do I need to learn music theory or something?
I understand your frustration. I would recommend learning music theory to any musician, but I would also recommend allotting a little bit more than 15 seconds of time to try and do so. If you click on hashtag handsome gentleman, all the videos are Sean. So that is a market anomaly that I jumped on quickly, and invest now, because I'm trying to really get a stranglehold on hashtag handsome gentleman on YouTube and also Instagram. A little more competitive on Instagram, but I'm having great success in YouTube, so invest now. Sean, do you really memorize the music for all the live songs shows that you do? If yes, how? If not, what is your process to prepare and know the music for your live gigs? Thanks. P.S. Loving all you put out and the collaborations. So yeah, for the most part, I do memorize everything. It's also not that hard. You would think like knowing or being able to recall like 100 songs would be like daunting, and it definitely was for me at first when I first started playing live. I think I started with like, all right, I've got like 15 songs that I can do without having to reference anything. Maybe that'll be enough. And then it became a point of pride for me in these like 3-4 hour sets to not repeat anything. And it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Essentially, it's really mostly pattern recognition, because most of the songs that I play live aren't, it's not like prog rock where I'm having to like memorize very intricate timings and chord progressions. They're really just kind of basic chord progressions, knowing when the changes come, etc., etc. So it's one of those things that like since I've played so many live shows, it's just ingrained into my being at this point. Again, I just have a notes file on my iPhone that just has an alphabetized names of all the songs that I know. And basically at this point, it's like me knowing a song. That just means I know not even necessarily the lyrics, but like where the lyrics go, the structure of it. And then I can just take a look to see like what key it's on, maybe if there's a capo for some certain reason. And then it all becomes like a numbers game. So it's really more of like a feat in mathematics for me at this point than it is like a musical test of memorization, because it's like, okay, all right, well this song, okay, whatever, that's a 1 5 2 6 in G, and then I know that just kind of starts like a chain reaction where it's like, all right, I know that leads into the 4 chord in the chorus or something like that. So it really just becomes chunking numbers together, and that's why it is so important to learn the different chords in any key and how they relate numerically. Like again, in the key of G, right? 1 is G major, 2 is A minor, 3 is B minor, 4 is C, 5 is D, 6 is E minor, 7, which you're never gonna use anyway, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, back to G, right? Because it's like, all right, well, what's this? This is a 1 6 4 in the key of G, and it's like, all right, I can remember the song, and then whatever rhythm I put on it, right? All right, that's 1 6 4. Then it goes to a 5 2 1, right? And any song can essentially be broken down into that, especially any kind of like singer or songwriter song, which most of the gigs that I play are like that. So the prep time isn't super crazy at this point just because I've been doing it for so long, but there was a lot of practice, and for me a lot of it was just live practice. That's why I think it's important for, if you are performing live, to not shy away from trying to take requests if you can, because that is such a great way to learn songs on the spot. And I think I was predisposed to learning that pretty well because I had taught so much before I started playing a lot live, and a big part of like teaching when you're so ill-prepared at most of life's skills like I am is sitting down with a student, having them tell you what song they want to learn, and then having to quickly learn it to teach them to it in like a minute or two, so you don't feel like you're ripping their parents off or something like that. So again, I know it's daunting. I do not feel like it's impressive. People tell me it's impressive, but it's not, because this is something that I've done for a while. And yeah, that's about the prep time that goes into live shows at this point. The hardest part about the live shows is just getting the gear there and setting it up and making sure that it sounds good, and then taking it down. By far the hardest, most challenging thing that I don't look forward to. Once I'm like playing, everything is chill and fine for the most part, and just kind of funny to me if anything else. Setting the stuff up is always the hard part, and getting there, and getting whoever I need to have there on time, which is a whole other QA in and of itself. For listening homework, I'm going to throw you to this great video of Ray LaMontagne, who I absolutely love, and Damien Rice, who I was really into back in the day, doing a duet. And stick with it to the whole time, because at the end they superimpose their faces together like 1970s public television style, and it is absolutely fantastic, and it totally takes you out of the song at the most emotional moment. So make sure you check that out. And then if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, which I redesigned recently. Check it out. Again, very not impressive. Don't get your hopes up. And also the flash sale for the masterclass with Justin still has a few days left. You can pick it up for $15. Check it out. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.